Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Dang it, 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 dang it. Hey YouTube, Ronan Kazi, little SWTOR, Star Wars Old Republic action. I've made it to the next planet. As you know, on the last planet, I defeated a Sith. I didn't kill him. I defeated him. And we talked about morality. And I think there's morality in anything. And in this game, right now, in this section, this mission, I'm going to have some moral choices to make. And I had some moral choices to make in the last. But we're not going to talk about morals today. We're going to talk about listening. And specifically, I mentioned recently to you active listening. And if any of you have had any business training, that's something they always trot out, is to have you listen more to your compatriots. And if you're ever in any type of couples therapy, or you know, any type of stuff where you're trying to get help, marriage counseling or something, listening is one of the things they're always going to hit on. So I've had a bunch of training in it. Doesn't make me a trainer in it, but I just wanted to refresh some of the things that I thought I'd been taught. So number one, always was taught that part of listening, 70% of listening, was nonverbal communication. Well, that was wrong. Because when you look it up and you look for the sources and for the scientific papers or the studies that they've done on that, just is not the case. Really, there's like a thing called 7-38-55. 7% is your actual words, 38% is your tone and that kind of stuff, and then maybe 55%, you know, your body posture and whatever. And I looked up what the study was, and as I went in the study is tenuous at best, YouTube. Why do I say that? Well, first off, let me go to the mission real quick. There's a death ray. And so when they mark someone, they can just kill them wherever they want on the planet. So I get caught in there, and this guy's not going to let us go. And so I do one of the benefits, that hand movement, YouTube. You will like and subscribe and share and resubscribe, and you will start to comment again. That's the Jedi mind trick where they make them do whatever they want. So I do that to him to get me free. So listening's super important. It's important in gaming. It's important in relationships. It's important at work. It's important with your friends. It's important with your kids. It's important with music. It's important in books. And you're going to say, well, listening's not. Well, I don't know how you read. You're not supposed to say the words in your head, but you kind of see the words in your head. And so sometimes when I'm reading, the material can be so dense that I have to reread it a couple times because I just don't get it. So I don't want to say active reading, because when you're reading, you're being actively reading anyway. So I'm going to put this under this listening thing, because I'm going to go to the end first, because basically you should be able to paraphrase something to someone that's talking to you. Paraphrase what they said, feed it back to them to get confirmation that you understand what they're saying. And I think that's the most important part of active listening. One of the other things is you want to give active cues to the speaker that you're listening. That's a head nod, maybe leaning in, leaning back, those kind of things. Maybe you give one word or one syllable or sounds like mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's teetering. You know, we're getting near the edge where this is going to fall off. And the thing, you got to tell them that you're listening. It seems kind of inherently in there, so that's kind of stupid. But the one thing I don't really agree with is where you just don't interrupt. Now, there's interrupting and interrupting. I want you to think about this, YouTube. Imagine we're in a diner together, and imagine there's sugar packets or fake sugar on the table. The sugar packets are usually white. NutraSweet might be blue, and saccharin, if they still sell that, might be pink. So you have these different colored sugar packets. If you place them out on a desk, 7 of them, whatever colors you want to use, when someone's talking to you, that's what's happening to the information. There's bits of that information are getting sent to you. It may seem like it's a coherent thing, but as a speaker, and you can do this experiment with yourself, as the person speaking, they're pulling from different things and different meanings and connotations of the words as they're putting them out there. Or if they're remembering events, they're pulling their view of it and putting them out there. How can you listen to someone if one of those just is a departure point for better discussion? Because you receiving the message, hey, YouTube, I'd like to talk to you about the importance of subscribing. And you're like, okay, so I've set the tone. The reason I'd like you to subscribe, because it helps me monetize. Whoa, hold on. You want to monetize the channel? You want to make money off of me watching your dumb videos? I don't want to do that. Nope, that's a good point. I don't want to make money off of you to get ahead. I want to make money so I can buy hardware that I can review and give it to you. Now, let's say I'm not smart enough to tell you that other part, but I just say I want to monetize my channel. I don't tell you what I plan to do with it. You might get turned off, but meanwhile, you're just listening, so now you've just shut off. Now you've stopped paying attention because someone has said something that just turns you off. Instead of you politely saying, hold on, can I double click on that point? And so that's different than parsing every syllable of what someone says and interrupting them constantly. And it depends on the gravity of the discussion. When you're talking about your spouse and let's say in the beginning of the relationship, like the first 6 to 9 months, you might have an easy way to kind of discuss things you like. You talk around them like things you like. You're not super specific because at this point you're still in the honeymoon phase of it. You're infatuated with the person. And so the communication, you let a lot of stuff slip. 2 years later, down the road, you're going to want to know exactly what that means. When you say clean the dishes, is that cleaning the dishes, putting them in the rack? Is that cleaning the dishes and drying them, putting them in the cupboard? Is that cleaning dishes, drying them, putting them in the cupboard, and wiping down the sink and cleaning up the counters? Because those are all different. Those are all different, YouTube. Let me give you a proper like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe. And it's time for a top 5. Well, the show I listen to all the time is the Lebitard Show with Stu Gatz. They do top 5s all the time. So I'm going to give you my top 5 characters from the bottom going to the top. Number 5, Dan Lebitard. Dan's great, but he's almost, he plays a role on the show, which is pretty funny, and it's enjoyable, and it's his show. Number 4 is Minal Hassan. He's a person they have come on. He's a basketball expert. He's funny. He does a lot on that channel. Number 3 is a person named Chris Cody. Chris is funny because he'll get off some one-liners that are great. He has recurring bits. He's a son of Dan's best friend, so there's nepotism. So whenever they talk about nepotism, they'll say the reason why so-and-so got his job is because he's nepotism. And then he'll just say, you'll hear, the camera won't go to him. He'll say, but they work hard. Or he'll say something like that, which is great. The number 2 favorite character on that show is a guy named 10-Day Tony. 10-Day Tony or Tony sometimes bothers people, but he, again, has a lot of great one-hitters. And he does a lot of bits, and he's kind of got comfortable in the role that he plays now, which is fantastic. And I'm sure this is one of everyone's favorites on that show is Billy Gill, who's Guillermo. He's just absolutely fantastic at the role he plays. So there's top 5 for you. In homage to the Lebitard Show. So getting back to active listening, this component of when someone's speaking, if you think of blocks or packets of information they're giving you, you are sometimes interested in the thoughts that generate that packet of information. And what happens is, as the person's getting ready, if they're not a psychopath, if the person's getting ready to talk to you and they're saying, okay, I want you, for the next week, I need you to clean the dishes because it will make me really happy and it will seem to me like you're pulling your weight in this relationship. Man, there's a lot of stuff. And me cleaning the dishes, if you have these expectations, most relationships, work, friends, children, parents, lovers, everyone, most relationships are ruined by unexpressed expectations. And part of that is something called codependency, which we're not going to get into now. But basically, when you don't express fully what your expectations or your wants are to someone, how do they know what you want? And when it gets really bad, they have a medical term for it or a psychological term for it. But this is hard to do. Not everyone's going to feel comfortable sharing things about their sexuality, like what they want there. Sorry, YouTube. They might not talk about the language you use, the amount of work you do, your love language. There's a lot of things you don't talk about. And so this is important. Anytime you're having an important, focused conversation, it would be great to share with your person you're talking with. Hey, you're going to say some things. And as you're saying, I'm not going to parse every word, and blah, blah. But when you get to an idea, noun, verb, adjective, whatever, how it works. When you say, I would like you to clean the dishes, I want to know what that means. Now, your job as a listener is not then to argue the semantics of, well, you really want me to clean the dishes. You understand what they want. They want you to clean up the kitchen. When they are asking you to do the dishes, they're asking you to clean up the kitchen. And so you want to get an idea of what that entails so that you can then deliver that. Then you say, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You want me to clean the kitchen because lately it seems like you haven't been fully invested in a relationship. And that would make me feel a little bit better about that. And in turn, I will try to be nicer than you in the things that you said to me. Now, so there's two other things. The first thing is, what is cleaning the dishes, which is really cleaning the kitchen. You're getting a why. I don't think you can argue a lot about people's whys. That's their personal thing. That in a relationship, you need to probably accept. It's a very tough thing. You have two friends. I don't like it when you make fun of me when we're out with our other friends. That's just it. It's not a double click time to find out, what do I do? Why does it? It just doesn't make them feel comfortable. They don't want to be the butt of your joke. Their dad, mom, sister, brother, other friends might have done it. And maybe they don't want you to do that. Whatever it is. I'm about to smoke this guy too. But the fight's a little bit harder because he keeps disappearing. So, and finally, they say task, reason, reward. Then you got to really, at that point, be definitive and explain what you want as your reward. Well, then I'd like you to cook me one meal a week. I don't mind buying us food on the way home from work, but I'd like one home-cooked meal. And I'd like it to be a steak, maybe twice a month. But I don't know how to cook steak. Not my problem. I'm not going to yell at you if it's not any good. You're going to get better at it. We're going to watch YouTube. Maybe we could cook it together. Oh, that's pretty nice. So there's way to get there. So sorry we got on active listening. I'm not listening to you because I'm just talking, YouTube. I appreciate you. Thanks for helping to grow the channel. If you can like, subscribe, share. If we can, please share it so I get other people liking it. I can monetize it so I can get you. Thank you, YouTube. Bye.